Welcome to this Training Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a total game changer. I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step workflow using ChatGPT to fundamentally scale your instructional impact, and we're going to do it without you burning out. We're focusing on something absolutely transformative here, teaching you exactly how to build bespoke, hyper-personalized student learning materials from scratch.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the differentiated learning challenge, the Educator AI blueprint, the 5-stage training workflow, real-world classroom applications, and finally, why human judgment always rules.
Let's kick things off with part 1, the differentiated learning challenge, and honestly, the reality of modern teaching.
You know the feeling. You're constantly caught in this impossible tug-of-war. On one hand, you've got the incredibly heavy, sometimes totally unsustainable demands of modern teaching that just lead straight to burnout. But on the other hand, you've got this noble, absolutely critical goal, creating personalized learning pathways for every single student. Historically, building those bespoke materials manually meant sacrificing your own precious time, your nights, your weekends. But, as we'll see, technology is finally offering a real bridge between those two competing realities.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Educator AI blueprint, and how we're going to expand your instructional reach.
We have to establish a foundational concept right out of the gate. AI is your assistant. It is never your replacement, period. It's here to help you take static, distributed course materials and turn them into dynamic, personalized pathways, all while keeping you firmly at the center of the classroom. You are the architect. The AI is literally just your drafting tool. So, what do you actually get out of this? By using this blueprint, you can generate study materials perfectly tailored to individual student profiles. You can streamline your feedback loops so kids get the insights they need way faster. And, perhaps the biggest win here, this workflow helps you identify early intervention opportunities. Just imagine being able to step in and support a struggling student before they actually fall behind. It's huge. Moving right along to Section 3, the 5-stage training workflow. This is your step-by-step guide. All right, these are the 5 sequential stages you're going to use to transform those static resources into review-ready, completely personalized materials. We go from collect, to structure, to differentiate, to produce, and finally, review. Mastering this specific sequence is exactly how you guarantee high-quality outputs for your students every single time. Let's break these down. Think of the collect stage as just dumping all your puzzle pieces right onto the table. You are gathering up your raw materials. We're talking academic requirements, syllabi, prior lesson files, maybe even past student feedback. The whole goal here is to feed the AI as much context and as many standards as humanly possible so it fully understands the unique landscape of your classroom. Next up is the structure stage. You prompt the AI to organize that mess of puzzle pieces, and this is where the heavy lifting happens, almost instantly. Need to weed out duplicate files in an old folder? Done. Want to outline an exam study framework using your specific learning objectives? It literally takes seconds. You're setting up the exact skeleton of your instructional plan. And that brings us to differentiate, the absolute heart of this whole process. Because you've provided the context and the structure, you can now tell the AI to adapt reading levels or modify practice questions for specific IEPs, or even generate alternative explanations for really complex concepts. This is where static materials officially become bespoke, hyper-personalized resources.
In the produce stage, ChatGPT takes all that differentiated context and turns it into real, review-ready artifacts. The outputs are incredibly practical. We're talking about comprehensive classroom handouts, interactive lesson sites, full presentation decks, or even calibrated assessment rubrics that are based entirely on your specific grading exports.
Finally, we hit the review stage. Listen, this step is non-negotiable. The AI has done the drafting, sure, but you must evaluate those materials against school guidance and your own professional standards. You're ensuring these artifacts perfectly align with your educational goals and the specific needs of your students before they ever see the inside of a classroom. Let's look at Section 4, real-world classroom applications and putting this workflow into practice. So how does this actually look in the wild? Well, a K-12 teacher might use this exact workflow to build a highly detailed unit plan from source files or to spin up a lesson deck using a strict district template. Meanwhile, university faculty, they might use it for something completely different, like auditing course section consistency across a bunch of different classes, or synthesizing research evidence from really dense, complex papers. And actually, it's worth noting how versatile this is beyond just instructional planning.
Higher education students can use this same logic to build an exam study system, manage job applications, or even run a student club project using meeting notes and budgets. On the flip side, faculty can handle heavy administrative loads, like tracking course engagement with LMS activity, or preparing giant committee packets using prior minutes, policy drafts, and stakeholder feedback. It works across the board.
Which brings us to our final section. Human judgment always rules. The golden rule of AI education.
If you take away just one single thing from this entire explainer today, please let it be this. Human judgment remains the final authority on all educational content. ChatGPT is a remarkably powerful assistant, but you are completely responsible for all final academic decisions. AI helps you scale your impact, for sure, but your expertise, your empathy, and your professional judgment, that's what actually teaches the students.
You now have the 5-step blueprint: collect, structure, differentiate, produce, and review. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you going to keep burning the midnight oil to meet the exhausting demands of modern teaching? Or will you use this workflow today to start building the bespoke, personalized support your students deserve? The blueprint is right there in your hands. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see how you transform your classroom.